There is not one single MAGA creator providing worthwhile commentary on film or television, and one of the reasons why is, with a lot of good media, they are physically unable to engage with it in a genuine way, without exposing vast amounts of hypocrisy. This tweet from Jack Posobiec is an incredible example of this, taking this moment from United Seven Kingdoms and saying, "This is white culture." Use this particular example because Jack Posobiec, before he was a conservative grifter, was an online personality who for 5 years covered Game of Thrones. Jack's blog and podcast really exploded when he spoke out against the rape of Sansa Stark. Now, Jack would then go on to write Donald Trump and Sansa Stark fanfiction. That is the type of person that was given the Epstein Files Phase 1. Remember this? Before all that, he was just a guy who loved Game of Thrones. He talks about how he's read the book so many times, so you would think he understands the material. The thing is about this conversation, Baelor's mother is Miriam Martell. Baelor is literally kind and just and unlike many Targaryens because largely of his mother. Makes for a good contrast with someone like Aerion Targaryen, which sounds a whole hell of a lot like Aerion. This is the type of person that believes in Targaryen supremacy. It's one of the reasons he feels so comfortable abusing a commoner who is a woman of color as well. The inciting event that kicked off this trial. Dunk stood up for a woman of color who was being abused by a Targaryen supremacist, and then a man with a brown mother who he took after stepped in to take his side when he did not have to. Episode 5 is literally called In the Name of the Mother, and I believe that can be tied directly to Baelor Targaryen. He is acting in a way that his mother would be proud of, and the episode goes out of the way to show you that he was his mother's favorite.
Mother loved you best, huh? Shame. No man fights so fierce as one neglected by his mother.
Baelor Targaryen is a just and kind and good-hearted man because he largely takes after his mother. You can also tie in the mother as part of the Seven. Catelyn Stark, she's prayed to for mercy and watches over fertility, childbirth, and peace. Her prayer asking to soothe the wrath and tame the fury, teach us all a kinder way. There's irony there with episode 5 being tied to the mother, but I think it works very well if you're talking about Baelor. So watching this show, which comes pretty much just after the Blackfyre Rebellion, which you should know about, right? You love Game of Thrones, which had a lot to do with the idea of Targaryen supremacy and purity. One of the main reasons this rebellion occurred is the influence of Dorne and the perceived negativity of that influence. It's Baelor taking after his Martell mother that makes him different. Game of Thrones itself, we see a Martell step into a fight he does not have to, with Oberyn Martell becoming Tyrion's champion to fight the Mountain, largely out of his rage over the abuse of women and children. Baelor or Dunk existed in our world, how do you think they would feel about Donald Trump or Stephen Miller or Peter Thiel or Elon Musk or Pete Hegseth or JD Vance or RFK Jr. or Brett Kavanaugh or any of these people? Final thought, Jack, white culture does not exist. The cultural aspects for white people can be tied back to our ancestors. Cultural elements that have affected my life are because my ancestors are Irish and Italian. They were immigrants. Yours, Jack, were Polish, and the Poles, just like the Irish and Italians, were discriminated against when they first arrived here, right? So I'd say if you cared about